Greetings, everyone! It is I, Spikehead Man. That's right. Hua! Yeah! How's it going, everyone? This is woo. My name is Chad from Wonder Spark Puppets, and today we are making superhero masks. Dun, 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 dun. Or really any kind of character. Really, this is what we call a half mask. It covers half of my face, right? So that the bottom portion is still there. A lot of superheroes wear masks just like this. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make today with some simple materials. So come on down. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we are going to need a paper plate, just one. We're going to need a stapler, and so you may need an adult to help you with this, depending on your stapler. This is a really old, heavy one. We're going to need some scissors and, very important, some string. Okay? And of course, as always, we will need crayons or markers, something to decorate this with, okay? But that's it, I think. Oh, wait a second. We will also need some tape, but don't worry, we'll get to that. Okay, first thing we're going to do, take your paper plates, and we're going to fold it in half. Now, I'm putting it right on my table, just like this, just like I would a dinner plate. We call this the concave section because it looks like things can fit inside. So we're going to fold it in half like a taco. See how I'm pinching this end with my fingers? And we're just kind of gently smushing the other end with our other hand, okay? The whole point is we want to make a crease on one end so that when we open it up, ta-da! Look at that beautiful crease happening. Looks so good. Okay. Now the crease is going to serve as a guide. We're going to cut the crease right down the middle. Okay. So here we go. And I'm doing this pretty quickly, but feel free to pause the video, take your time. Look, I cut one end. I'm going to turn around and cut the other, kind of meet it in the middle. There. You should have two perfectly even sides of a plate. Makes a little Pac-Man. There we go. Waka, 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 waka. So, choose which side of the plate you want. I'm going to go with this one. Take this one, save it for later. Woo! You can always make a second mask out of that. So here we are. We have our mask. Okay? How does it look on our face? If I put it on my face, it feels okay. I can't really see out of it yet. So let's cut this mask a little bit. All right, take your mask. So take this half paper plate, fold it in half again. So I'm pinching it on the ends right here. And this part, the middle part, so not the edge, but this middle part, I'm just gonna smush this a little bit. I'm just gonna like push that down. We're not gonna cut this whole thing, so don't worry about that. We're just gonna push down the middle part. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut just like a little triangle out of this, okay? Why am I cutting just a little triangle out? I will show you. Okay. Once we get that cut, this is for your nose, okay? So if I put the mask on my face, my giant nose can stick out, right? If your nose is flatter, or if you don't have like a big nose, maybe you don't have to worry about this step, but I would still recommend making a space for your nose to stick out. It's very important. Otherwise, the mask is going to like warp on your face. Anyway, so we got a place for our nose. Let's figure out where our eyes go. Okay, so put the mask right onto your face like so. Okay, and then kind of take your, see how I'm holding it on with my thumbs. I'm going to take my fingers and kind of like gently touch where my eyes are. I'm not like mushing it in, but I'm just saying like, okay, my eyes are like right here in general, okay? I'm holding my fingers on to that spot so I can see, that's where my eyes should look out, okay? Now I'm gonna put this right down onto the table with my fingers still kind of touching until I can make a mark. All right, my eyes are like right there. And like right there. Okay. Now, we are going to make some eye holes. You can make your eye holes as big or as small as you want. I'd recommend going bigger. Bigger is always better. You always want to see more. We're not going to cut them out at the same time. We're just going to cut one, and then we're going to cut the other, okay? So I'm going to draw, whoop, on the back. Oh, I shouldn't say like, no, you know what? I'll just draw on the front. I'm going to draw my eye hole right here on the front. That was generally where my eye was. So let's try that. Okay, I'm not going to draw anything on the second one. We're just drawing on the first one first, okay? You'll know why in a second. Once you've drawn the eye hole, I'm going to cut it out. How can you cut it out? Well, you could hold your scissors like a blade and kind of like push through by just giving it some gentle, there we go. And you could cut it that way. You could also, check this out, you'd also just cut from the bottom. Just cut right into it and cut your eye hole out that way, okay? I know you're kind of wondering yourself, well, wait a second, doesn't that make like a, isn't this a problem? Yes, we'll get to that, don't worry. Either way, okay, if you cut it out with the blade of your scissors or just cut it out from the bottom, you're gonna get this eye hole eventually, and you should test it out. So every step, always test it out. So I'm gonna put it up to my face. Can you see through it? Yes, I can. If you can't, or if it's a little funny, if you see too much of the paper plate, just make the eye hole bigger and just keep cutting it out, but only cut out the one for now, okay? If you, like me, just cut through the bottom part where this is exposed, just take a couple pieces of tape, tiny little pieces of tape, and go ahead and fix that up so that it isn't a big deal, okay? Now because I'm taping this part, it means I can't color over it, so you may want to hold off on this until you've decorated it. But anyway, once your eye hole is complete, we want to make symmetrical eye holes. That means we want them to be the same. So we're going to whoop, take our mask, fold it in half once this eye hole is done, and then we're going to take, you could take a pen or a pencil or a marker, whatever you want. I'm going to mush this mask down, and I'm going to draw, or I should say trace, the outline of this eye hole whoop, on the other side. Just like that, okay? Now you can, I'm gonna bump that back into place. Now you can cut out this eye hole, and it should be exactly symmetrical to the one you just made. It should be the same exact shape, okay? I'm just gonna show you how to, if you use your scissors like holding them like a blade, you can also just cut out your eye holes this way. It is a little tough. It's a lot easier just to cut through the bottom like I did. Once you have these eye holes all cut, okay, we can move on to the next step. But first, always, as always, test it out. Dun-dun. Does it feel good? You can always make your eye holes bigger. You can't make them smaller. I guess you could tape over them, right? If it feels okay and you can look through it, right? Feels okay? Now we're going to move on to decorating, okay? Now, who is your superhero person, or who are the person who you're making this half mask out to be? Could be anyone, right? I decided to make this spiky-headed superhero, right? And I wrote out some of the things they like, some of the things they dislike, and I made kind of a design over here of what I think this character should look like, okay? Now, when I did that, I made all those creative choices about who they are, what they like, what they look like, what colors I'm going to use. That makes the next part of the process a lot easier. So I'm going to recommend that you do that, okay? Once you have that idea in your mind, you can color this however you like. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to quickly do mine. I'm just going to put like a little circle right in the middle of that forehead, and maybe some eyelashes built in, you know, whatever you like. You can also change up the outside, cut some of these parts off, right? You can also, with some tape or a stapler, put some parts on. Like if I wanted to add to this shape, right? I could make a really tall mask like that, right? Or I could maybe take some parts of this right? To make some ears or some horns, whatever you like. You know what, I'm gonna make some horns. I do this by taking my stapler or tape and by attaching these pieces together, okay? So it looks like I'm gonna go with some horns for this character. Why not? That's super fun. It could be ears, maybe. It looks like they're horns. I don't know, guys. This could be a super villain. Let's see. Let's put it like that. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Okay. So once you have your design done, you have all your colors done, you've added or subtracted some pieces, you feel like, okay, I'm ready. Now we are going to do our final step, which is we are going to attach it to your face. So take your beautiful mask, put it on its face, and we're going to take that string. Remember, we needed string? Okay. We're going to take whatever string or yarn that you have, we're going to attach it to one corner of the mask. Okay. I'm not cutting or measuring or anything with the string. I'm just attaching. I'm using the stapler. Oh, goodness. But you can do however you like. If you use a stapler, make sure you have some excess string or yarn because we're going to tie a knot in a second. You can also take your scissors, poke a hole in here, and then tie a knot around the hole. If I used my stapler to do that, look, if I pull on this yarn, it's going to come right through. So what we want to do is tie a knot around the staple that you made. Okay, that'll make it a lot stronger. It'll make sure that it stays on your face and doesn't go anywhere. Okay, look at that. If I pull on it now, it's not going anywhere. You can also use multiple staples, whatever works. Next step, we're going to measure how long we need our string. So I'm going to put this on my face. Take the string that's attached to one corner right there, pull it around my face. This goes on top of your ears, and I'm going to bring it over to the other side. Okay, so this string brought it all the way around my head to the other side to kind of see how much string I need. So I'm going to take and kind of measure, like, okay, that goes right there. So that's how much string I need. Great. I know I need this much string. Does that make sense, everybody? Hope so. Here we go. Ooh, back over. There it is. Okay. Now that I know how much string I need, always do more than you need, by the way. I'm going to cut it off and staple it onto here. Okay. Now I am purposefully using too much right now so I can show you what happens if you get too much. So if you finish this step, right, looks like we're done, put it on your head, test it out. Okay, if you put it on and your mask starts to wiggle, if it starts to wiggle, if you're moving around and it starts to go like, you'll know that your string is too long. So this is what we do, okay? We take the string that you put on, okay? And we can pull it through the staple a little bit. We can pull it through just to make it a little tighter, loop it around, and use tape or a stapler to reattach it. Okay? So there, we doubled up. We made it a little bit tighter. So now when I put it onto my head, it should be tighter. Shouldn't be super tight. And you should be able to easily put it onto your head. If it causes you pain, you got to stop it right away. And look, it's the evil horned nemesis to the spike-headed hero. Cha-cha! Yes! Great! So, that's how you make a half mask out of paper plates. Like I said before, make a design and list what your character likes and dislikes. What is their superpowers, their super weaknesses? Use the other half. Do you remember we still have half of this over here? You can use that to make a second character and play with your friends. Okay, everybody? Thanks again. My name is Chad from Wonder Spark Puppets. We'll see you next time. Bye.